Hey, what's up guys? I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain, and today I'm here with the DV8 off-road full-length rear bumper with LED lighting fitting your 2018 and up Wrangler JL. This is going to be for the JL owner that's looking to upgrade to gain a little more strength and utility from their rear bumper for a reasonable price. This bumper will give you that aggressive off-road styling and utility that the hardcore enthusiast is looking for. With this bumper, you're getting the full protection of a standard width, and with its high clearance design, you're getting better departure angles and more ground clearance, giving you an edge on those tough trails. This bumper is made from heavy-duty steel for strength, has a black powder coating that's going to provide corrosion resistance, and it incorporates D-rings for recovery points and bright LED lights, allowing you to see better when you're backing up on those dark trails. This bumper also accommodates your factory tow hitch and backup sensors, and it comes complete as a kit with everything needed to install, reusing factory mounting points and hardware, making for a very easy installation. This is going to be one of your most affordable options on the site at just around $470, and I think it's a great deal considering what you're getting, and it even comes with a great 3-year warranty. As far as install goes, I'm going to give this 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, since you can install this in about 2 hours using basic hand tools. Now with that being said, let's hop into the install. So we're going to begin this installation with removing our spare tire. The first thing we're going to do is take this little locking cap off using a T40 Torx. We're going to turn it counterclockwise, it's going to unlock it, and then we can pull it off. So after we get that cap off, we're going to use a 22mm socket to remove our lug nut so we can take our spare tire off. So next we're going to go underneath the back of the Jeep, and we're going to come over here to our wheel well, and we're going to take this plastic piece off. You have 3 8mm bolts. We'll start with this outside one here. After we get that cover off, the next thing we're going to do is disconnect our plug. So we're going to go ahead and pull this off. And we need to pop this up and out, and then we can disconnect it. After we get the harness unplugged, we're going to take off this whole bracket. This bracket attaches to the bumper and to the frame. We're going to use a 16mm socket to remove all 4 of those bolts. We're going to use that same 16mm to remove these 2 inner bolts here on the frame. So next you're going to have 2 studs sticking out through this bracket back here. We're going to use a 16mm socket to remove this nut and the one above it. We're going to do the same thing for the other side, starting with that plastic shield. Next, we're going to go to the center of our frame rail behind our muffler, and we're going to remove our 2 18mm bolts. So once we have everything disconnected, we're ready to pull this bumper off. It's relatively light. You should be able to do it by yourself, no big deal. The last thing we have to do is remove these two brackets. You're gonna have one on each side, and both brackets are gonna have two bolts in them. We're gonna use an 18mm socket to remove those bolts. So for our driver's side, we'll need to remove our tow hitch as well. So for these upper two bolts, we're gonna use that 18mm and get those all the way out. And down here, we're gonna have another bolt. We're gonna use a 21mm socket to remove that. So we do have some assembly to do. We have to install these lights, and since we're removing our rear bumper and it has our license plate attached to it, we actually have a relocation bracket to install over here. And then another nice thing about this bumper is it actually has these cutouts for proximity sensors. So if you don't have a rear backup camera and you have those sensors, you can switch them over from your bumper. We're gonna start with our lights first, so I'll show you how to do that now. So these lights are actually gonna fit in through these little holes down here. So we're gonna pass our wire through and then slide those lights in. You're gonna get little packets of hardware, and we're gonna insert our bolts through the front side. So on the back side, we're gonna install a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Next, we're gonna install the other light. We're gonna do the same thing for that one. We're gonna install it through the front side, out through the back side, and we'll install our little hardware. So then we're gonna tighten them up. We're gonna use the provided Allen key that they give us on the front side for the bolt head. We're gonna use an 8mm socket for the nut. So next step, we're gonna install our D-rings. We're just gonna unscrew this pin out from them, and we'll just slide that back through and screw that pin back in. Same thing on the other side. So next we're going to install our license plate relocation bracket. You want to make sure that this angle faces out and away from the Jeep. We're going to take our provided bolts with a washer and insert those down through the bracket into our bumper. And then on the bottom, we'll install a flat washer, a lock washer, and a nut. Once you get that hardware installed, we're going to use the provided Allen key and a 10mm socket to tighten everything up. So we finally got the stock bumper uninstalled and our new DV8 bumper is completely assembled. But before we get it installed, I want to go over what it's made of, what it's going to do for you, and how it compares to your stock one. Now the stock bumper is made of plastic, so it's not very strong. It's not really going to do too much to protect your Jeep, especially on those really tough trails. So if you're looking for a little more strength and a little more protection, you'll want to upgrade to an aftermarket bumper such as this. This is a very aggressive looking bumper with its high degree angles and its high cut corners. So it's going to give you a lot more clearance over your stock bumper, and it's going to give you much better departure angles, allowing you to traverse and conquer those really tough trails. Now this bumper comes with LED lights that you can install. These are high powered LED lights and they fit flush mounted in your bumper. So they're going to be a little recessed and they're going to stay relatively safe in your bumper. Now we do have to wire those up, but I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. Another nice feature about this is it comes with welded D-ring mounts and D-rings. This is going to be a great recovery point for when you're stuck in a sticky situation and you need to either pull someone out or be pulled out. This bumper also features cutouts for your proximity sensors, so you can switch those over from the factory bumper and install those, and it also has a nice cutout in the middle, allowing you to use your factory hitch. Now, along with this aggressive angular design, you're also getting a very nice textured black powder coating. This is going to add to that aggressive off-road styling that you're looking for, and it's also going to protect your investment, keeping it rust-free and protected from the elements. Now, as I had previously stated, since we are removing the factory bumper and our license plate is located on that, we get a nice relocation bracket that we can install our license plate on there. Now, like I said, this bumper is a lot stronger over stock, and it's made of cold rolled steel and a combination of 1/4 inch and 3/16 inch steel. So it's going to be a lot stronger than your stock bumper, and it is full width just like the stock bumper, so it's going to give you full protection of the back end. So with all that being said, let's show you how to get this installed and what it looks like on the Jeep. So at this point in time, we're ready to install our bumper. I'm going to get someone to help me pick this up and put it on, and we're going to reuse those factory bolts. So when installing this bracket here on your bumper is going to go on the outside of the frame rail. We're going to reuse these 2 bolts that we removed. These are the long bolts. We're going to use an 18mm socket to tighten those up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So, since the new lights that we installed in our bumper are going to act as additional very bright reverse lights, we're going to tap into our reverse wiring. Now, on the inside here, on the driver's side, you're going to have this plastic panel. You can pop that open with a flathead screwdriver, and then you'll have this long plastic bolt that you'll need to take out. You can use a T40 Torx to unscrew that, and then your light's going to come out from the backside. We already have our light out, so we're going to identify our wires and get our wires wired up. So we found the wires that we need. We have a white wire with a brown trace. That's for our reverse light, and we're going to tap into one of these black wires as a ground. We are going to use some vampire clips to tap into this. So we're going to go ahead and feed our positive reverse wire through our little vampire clip. Then we're going to take another section of wire. We're going to feed that into the back like that, and then we'll clamp this thing down and get it spliced. So now that wire is going to be in there and it's tapped into our reverse wire. Next, we're going to do the same thing for our negative wire. I'm going to take another vampire clip, feed that in, and then our other section of wire, and then we'll do the same thing. You want to make sure that this wire is all the way in there if you're using these clips. So next, we're going to take these wires and we're going to drop them all the way down through here so we can connect them to our lights. Now we can plug our light back in. Lock our red locking tab, and then we'll reinstall this on the Jeep. All right, so we dropped our wires down. We're gonna cut a little bit of this excess off, and I'm gonna take these and tap those into our far light. I'm gonna take 2 small butt connectors, and since I used a white wire for my reverse light and my positive, I'm going to crimp that onto the end. So I'm gonna go ahead and attach that to the red wire, which is gonna be our positive on our light. I wanna make sure that that wire is all the way in there, and then we're going to squeeze tight so we can crush that wire and keep it in there. Check your connections, make sure that they're tight, and then we'll do the same thing for our negative wire. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and take this and install a connector onto there. Make sure that's all the way in there, squeeze it down, and then we'll attach that to our negative wire. Next, we're gonna run these over here. And we'll have to strip the ends. We're gonna take our positive extension wire and our positive wire on our light. We're gonna twist those together. Once we twist those together, and install another connector. Making sure that both wires are in there, then we'll clamp this down nice and tight, and we'll do the same thing for our two negative wires. So now that we have both of our wires wired together, or both of our lights wired together, we're gonna go ahead and strip the ends off of these, and then wire those to those, and then we'll have everything hooked up. So that's going to wrap up my review and install. For more videos like this, check us out at ExtremeTerrain.com.